So I'm on this morning ride and I just thought I would talk a little bit about what I think of the V12 HT for anyone thinking about getting one. So overall, I really like the wheel. I like all the features. I like all the way it rides. I ride a MSP and an EXN, and it's much different than both of those wheels. The way I would describe it differently is it's a lot more unstable or a lot more responsive, if that makes any sense. So it takes quite a bit of time to get used to it, especially with the high pedals. And I have the pedal set to the highest. Okay, I'm not in the mood for anything that hard this morning. Anyway, so yeah, I like basically everything about it. The kickstand, the fit and finish, everything's pretty good. I have one major issue with it, and then another just a whiny issue. But the first issue is that it's advertised as a climbing wheel, and it overheats. It doesn't necessarily overheat, but it gets hot, and because there's no fan, it stays hot. So that's pretty disappointing. I ride with RS high torques and MSP high torques regularly. And the last ride I did, we were on technical single track where our average speed was probably less than 10 kilometers per hour. Lots of roots, hills. I live in the mountains, lots of hills. And then I hit around 75 degrees Celsius, and that's close to overheat. And yeah, so I have to stop all the time. And the last ride I went on, the MSP high torque was at 59 when I was almost overheating. So I kind of ruined the ride with those guys when I ride with those guys, because it's frustrating because I have to stop all the time. And then once this wheel gets hot, it doesn't cool down quickly because it takes a long time to get hot. And then you're just kind of stuck with this big hot wheel and not able to do much with it besides ride for a little distance and stop again, let it cool down a little bit, ride again. So if you want to do hill climbing and technical single track, and that's at around 20 degrees outside, 20 degrees Celsius. So I don't think in my opinion so far, is I haven't ridden it in the cold a lot because I just got it at 2,000 kilometers on it. But it seems like it just gets hotter and hotter the more you push it when you're going slow. So I don't even know if temperature would make that big of a difference, but this is 20 degrees, 22 degrees outside. So those are the outside temperatures, and the MSP high torque was at about 59 or 60 degrees Celsius, and I'm at 75. So if you're thinking you're going to get this wheel, do all single track all the time, technical stuff, and climb mountains, you're not going to. Get an RS high torque. You need something with a fan, I think, to go slow and stay cooler. And then my minor gripe is I like this screen with the temperatures all over it, but even like your car, there's a maximum temperature. So you know, like, oh, okay, I'm getting hot or close to hot. It would be nice if these gauges somehow indicated how hot you're getting, like how close you are to the max temperature, because without any reference to a max temperature, they're just numbers and they really don't mean a whole heck of a lot. 80 degrees I know is the overheat temperature on Gotways, and I assume it's the same on this. But we also have a motor temperature sensor, which I'm unfamiliar with, what a maximum temperature for the motor is. But it hits 80 degrees easily and all the time when you're doing off-roading, anything technical. So riding around town, it's all right. Even right now, I'm not even riding, I'm just putting along, and those are my temperatures. So not cool, but not super hot either, and I can't ride any nicer than I am right now. If you have some speed, it cools down all right, but Yeah, so that's my gripe. It's a climbing wheel that you can't really do a lot of climbing with. Has a lot of power, it just gets hot. If you were climbing up a hill where you had speed, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. But then any wheel can climb up a hill if you have speed. So even the high speed wheels will climb a hill with speed. So anyway, yeah. So if I rode at this speed climbing hills that I'm going right now a lot, it would overheat. So don't be fooled by a climbing wheel, because I would say it's hardly a climbing wheel. But it is a great wheel if all you're going to do is ride around town, or pathways, gravel pathways, or like single track that's pretty smooth and flowy, you'll be fine. But anything hard and technical with a lot of steep hills, you're going to overheat. That's all I have to say.